Latest coming in from the national capital, where multiple explosions have been reported near the iconic Red Fort. I am Molly Gambhir. And we are tracking those developments coming in from the national capital. Multiple explosions reported near the iconic Red Fort in Delhi. 8 killed, 24 injured in the explosions as per the latest that's trickling in. The blast reportedly occurred near gate number 1 of the Red Fort metro station at around 6:52 local time, 6:52 in the evening. The sound of the explosions reportedly heard as far as 1.5 kilometers away. And the initial reports indicating that 10 to 12 vehicles, including cars, pickup trucks and bicycles caught fire, with some parts of the damaged vehicles found 100 to 150 meters away. Those are the latest details that are trickling in the aftermath of those explosions that have rocked the national capital. Also in the latest, Delhi police, fire brigade teams, ambulances, bomb disposal squads that rushed to the site immediately. 10 fire tenders pressed into service is what the input has been. The security officials evacuating people from the area, and patrolling has been increased at the sensitive locations. The Delhi Police Special Cell also reached the site. A high alert has been sounded. Authorities continue to investigate the exact cause and nature of the explosion. So as of now, that is not clear as the investigations continue regarding the exact cause and nature. In the latest, Prime Minister Modi has also taken stock of the situation. He's spoken to the Union Home Minister and sought a detailed update and on the ongoing rescue and security operations. Delhi is on high alert as the authorities work to secure the area and ensure public safety. A high alert also sounded in Mumbai, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. Now, all of this coming on a day when the security forces recovered nearly 2,900 kilograms of explosives in that massive anti-terror operation. Those are the images that we're getting to you from the site of the explosions that rocked the Indian national capital near the iconic Red Fort. These images coming in from the site. 8 dead, 24 injured is the latest information. The sound of the explosions were reportedly heard as far as 1.5 kilometers away, and as the assessment of the impact of the explosions continues, we understand as the casualties were rushed to the hospital there. As of now, 24 have been reported injured and 8 have lost their lives. Let's just play out for you some of the reactions that have been coming in from on the ground.
भाई गाड़ी में बम था।
किसकी गाड़ी में?
जिंदगी में कार में।
तो आप लोग वहीं खड़े थे? आप वहीं थे?
मैं उसके पीछे पीछे चल रहा था।
कार के? तो कितने लोग सवार थे उस गाड़ी में, कुछ पता चला?
धमाके की आवाज आई, 4-5 फिर एकदम कई जने वैसे जल गए। आसपास में जो थे वो आसपास के लोग।
कितनी गाड़ियां डैमेज हुई हैं यहाँ पे? कितने?
2-3 गाड़ी।
वो जो कार सवार थे उनकी क्या हालत कैसी है?
कुछ तो गंभीर है, 8-10 तो गंभीर है। 20-25 जने को वैसे चोट आई है उनके।
कितने बजे घटना घटी?
7 बजे।
तो मैं चेयर पे बैठा हुआ था, एकदम से अचानक इतनी तेज धमाका हुआ कि मेरे लाइफ में इतनी तेज मैंने अपनी आवाज़ के भी नहीं सुना। धमाके के दहल पे मैं 3 बार गिरा हूँ, उठाऊँ फिर गिरा हूँ, होता है धरती फटने वाला है, इतनी तेज धमाका हुई है। ठीक है, तो मैं दुकान छोड़ करके एकदम से भागा। मेरे साथ ही बहुत सारी पब्लिक भागी, एक पे एक पब्लिक गिर रही थी। उस टाइम ऐसा लग रहा था कि हम कुछ पल में और दूसरा धमाका हुआ था, हम मरने वाले हैं।
हम ये देखे, लपट देखा, हाँ, अपने छत से देखा, तभी मैं नीचे उतर के आया कि जरा देखो कहाँ है क्या, और तो पता नहीं
किसी तरह की कोई आवाज़ आपने सुनी?
हाँ, बहुत जोर आवाज आई, बिल्डिंग खिड़की हिल गई, खिड़की हिल गई।
आपका घर कितना दूर है?
ये रहा गुरुद्वारे के पास।
बम ब्लास्ट हुआ है लाल किले के सामने।
All right, let's also listen in to what the police statement as of now is.
आज करीब 6:52 पे एक यहाँ पे रेड लाइट पे एक स्लो मूविंग व्हीकल जो रेड लाइट की तरफ आके रुका था, उसमें एक ये एक्सप्लोजन हुआ है। उस वक्त गाड़ी के अंदर जो पैसेंजर्स उसके अंदर ही थे, और इस एक्सप्लोजन से जो है आसपास की गाड़ियों में भी क्षति हुई। जैसे ही इसकी खबर मिली, हम सारी एजेंसीज जो है, दिल्ली पुलिस, FSL, NIA, NSG, उनकी टीम्स यहाँ पे आ चुकी हैं और हालात का जायजा भी ले रही है। हर तरीके से इस जो है एक्सप्लोजन के बारे में जांच की जा रही है, और जल्दी ही इसका आकलन करके इसका जो भी रिजल्ट निकलेगा वो आपको बताया जाएगा। इस इंसिडेंट में कुछ लोग को इंजरीज भी आई हैं और कुछ लोगों की डेथ भी हुई है, तो वो अभी हालात का जायजा लिया जा रहा है और एग्जैक्ट फिगर्स जो हैं आपको कुछ ही देर में बता दी जाएंगी।
And as we continue to monitor the latest developments that are trickling in at this point, let's also get our viewers these images that have just come in. So these are the visuals that we are getting to you from outside the Red Fort in the aftermath of those explosions that occurred near the iconic monument. As you can imagine, this is a congested area. We are talking about the explosion struck at a peak hour time, close to 7 p.m. In the latest, these teams that have rushed to the spot as well. This is what the scene looks like outside the Red Fort in the aftermath of the explosion. The Prime Minister has taken stock of the situation. The Home Minister has spoken to the Delhi Police Commissioner. The exact nature and cause of the explosion, remember, is not confirmed, so that remains unclear as the investigations continue. So we are not getting into any speculation at this point, only going by the verified, confirmed information and inputs coming in from the authorities and the officials at this point. All right, let's go straight across now to our correspondents, Siddhant Sibal and Dharanjot Kaur, who have been tracking those developments very closely. Coming to you first, Dharanjot, help us understand where you are at this point and what you're picking up from those you've been speaking to.
Well, Molly, I'm at the road where the explosion just a few meters away. And the extent of it is so much that there is a broken off bumper of a car that's lying over here on the road. And people have been making videos of it and taking pictures of it. However, this is still a few meters away from the explosion site because there are barricades behind me. The entire area has been completely cordoned off. You can see media personnel trying to record visuals and get through, but they're not being allowed. Nobody is being allowed beyond this last line of barricading. Beyond this barricade there's the fire department, police personnel, security officials, investigating officials. The NIA officials have reached the spot just a few minutes before we talked about it. The bomb squad is also here to ascertain the nature and cause of the explosion. As you rightly pointed out, and we've been saying this again and again, police has so far given clarification in terms of when and where the explosion occurred. They've said very clearly that at 6:52 p.m. local time, a slow-moving car was approaching the traffic light, and that is when it is said to have exploded. And as a result of that explosion, a lot of cars nearby, including this one for which the bumper lies on the ground, and other two-wheeler vehicles, bicycles, have been gutted and damaged in the process. 8 people have tragically lost their lives. Many others are injured. They have all been taken to the LNJP hospital. There's a beeline of fire engines and ambulances stretching to a few hundred meters. Hundreds of officials are present over here at this point, Molly. I'm standing right next to the Red Fort. where ironically there's also preparation that is underway at one of its grounds for the commemoration of the martyrdom of the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur. So a lot of construction crews also present over here, and all of them heard the sound of the explosion because it was so loud and so intense. In fact, a few people there's a landmark historic Gurdwara just a few meters away called the Seesganj Sahib. Worshippers at the Gurdwara also said that while they were there, they heard the sound of the blast. So one can only imagine how loud the explosion may have been. However, it is very, very important, Molly, to tell our viewers and everyone else around that the nature of the blast is yet to be ascertained. A lot of investigation agencies are here. It's all hands on deck. The entire area has remained cordoned off for the better part of 2 hours. Within 2 hours, and everyone is investigating to see what may have caused the blast. We're hearing a lot of eyewitness accounts that are coming in, especially from an auto driver who says he was just a few meters behind the car that exploded, injured in the process. However, there's also a lot of narratives and speculation that's coming in, Molly, and that is something that we want to tell our viewers again and again, to not give into, to not play into the hands of speculation. The cause is yet to be ascertained. There'll be several angles that will be speculated, but we will not know anything for sure until investigating agencies put out an official statement or address a press statement to the media and confirming the cause, confirming the entire casualty count, and ascertaining how and why this entire explosion may have occurred. So at this point, there is a lot of commotion. It's all hands on deck. There are a lot of media personnel, a lot of security present over here. Locals have been pushed away from the region. There was a beeline of vehicles a couple of hours ago when I was approaching the Red Fort. So everybody's been asked the entire area to ensure that nothing hampers the investigation and everyone remains safe, at least from this point on. Molly?
All right, stay with me, Dharmjot. Let's also get in Siddhant Sibal, who's also been tracking those developments very closely near the Red Fort. Siddhant, over to you. What are you picking up at this point? 8 people have lost their lives, 24 have been reported injured in the latest information that's come in. The injured being taken to the LNGP hospital. We understand in the latest that's come in that the Delhi Health Minister was also expected to reach the hospital. You've been tracking those developments from near the Red Fort. What are you picking up at this point?
Well, I'm standing just in front of the historic Red Fort, but also near the location of the explosions. So far, we know that it is being ascertained the cause of the explosions, but things on the ground remain grim. Lot of security personnel present, and around me is just the media personnel who are present. This entire area has been cordoned off for civilians. Only media personnel are allowed with reporting from the ground. But essentially, as you've already pointed out, 8 people have died. The Indian Prime Minister has spoken to the Home Minister. The situation is evolving. It looks like it will be a pretty long night. But of course, if I can show you first the situation on the ground in terms of not only the presence of the media personnel, but also in terms of the presence of the security as well. And remember, this area is a very historic area. This area is the Red Fort area. Opposite to it is Chandni Chowk, which is a densely populated market. In fact, it is one of the Asia's largest markets, and at any given point, it is jam-packed with people. Now, many of those who have injured have been shifted to a local hospital. WION team will be shortly be going to that location. But one thing is for sure, Delhi remains on high alert. The top leadership and of course the security officials are taking stock of the situation and of course trying to ascertain the cause of the explosion, but the reason as to why this explosion happened here. We spoke to many eyewitnesses as well. Many of them were very anxious, very scared. Many of them explained to WION when they heard the explosion, when they of course saw the plume of smoke and talked about as to how they ran away. Many of them have closed their shops now, and of course this area, of course at any given time this area would have seen a lot of people, but right now it's just the media personnel and the security personnel present on the ground. But clearly tense situation on the ground in India's national capital, right in the heart of the Indian national capital, New Delhi.
Indeed, we stay on with me, Siddhant, as we continue to piece together the developments, the minute-by-minute developments and the inputs that are trickling in at this point. An extremely sensitive time coming just about 2 hours since the explosions have been reported in the national capital near the iconic Red Fort. Going back across now to our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur, who's also been tracking those developments from on the ground. Dharamjot, we have also been getting in a sense of what the people around have been sharing about what they saw vis-a-vis the impact of the explosion, what was heard and so on and so forth. Just to piece together those inputs and details, because at this point, while we await what the official authorities' word will be, the inputs that have been trickling in about the sound of the explosion that were reportedly heard as far as 1.5 kilometers away, for example, even street lights were impacted. So that, of course, tells us about the impact of the explosion as well. And as we've been discussing, this is an extremely busy and congested area at pretty much any time of the day, and coming at a peak hour like this, close to 7 p.m. In such an area, taking place near the iconic Red Fort monument, where people are there for different reasons. So that, of course, has been a concern.
Well, absolutely, Molly. And before we go any further, sources are telling us that the death toll has risen to 13 from 8. So that's a very tragic news that's coming in. 13 people dead. This is what sources are telling us. Last we heard from the LNJB hospital that 8 people have died. From the total casualties that were brought in, they said that bodies of 8 people that they were already dead. But now that number appears to have gone up to 13. There are still about 20 people who are injured. The seriousness of their injury is unknown at the moment, but all of them were rushed to the nearby hospital after the explosion occurred. There is a lot of commotion around me, Molly, as investigating officials are putting out information bit by bit. After ascertaining for sure what exactly happened, there's going to be a lot that has to be investigated and gone through with a fine-tooth comb, to be honest, Molly, because the eyewitnesses that are analyzed, forensic analysis that will help determine the cause of this explosion. Because it was so loud, it ended up creating a sort of situation where people did not know what to make of it, because they've never heard something like that before. The people nearby the explosion site were saying that they felt like a tremor sort of situation when the explosion took place. And so, again, the nature is yet to be determined, but it was incredibly intense is what everyone around us is saying. It is yet to be determined whether it was just one car explosion that led to a domino effect, and as a ramification, more cars around it gutted and caught fire and exploded in the process, or was it something far more tragic and sinister? We are not aware of that scenario at the moment. Again, police has only officially put out one piece of detailed information which tells the exact timing of when the explosion took place and how it was a slow move approaching a traffic light that exploded. Again, the nature of it unknown, as investigating agencies are still determining it. In fact, we're also hearing that across state lines and across union territories, police departments are coordinating with each other, keeping each other informed, because other states have also been put on high alert. Molly, Haryana, several parts of Haryana are on high alert. Mumbai, as we know, is on high alert. Delhi, of course, is on high alert. So police departments across within Delhi are all hands on deck to reach the bottom of this particular explosion, this particular tragedy, find the cause of it, and then take things from there. But it's very important to tell our viewers and everyone else, even around.
Yes, Dharamjot and Siddhant getting us those inputs from on the ground. Continue to stay on with us, please. Some breaking news coming in right this minute on those developments. In the latest, Jammu and Kashmir Police is in constant touch with the investigative agencies in Delhi, is the latest input that we have for you. This, of course, after those multiple explosions reported near Delhi's Red Fort. Jammu and Kashmir Police likely to be a part of the investigation is the latest input that we have. The explosion that occurred near the Red Fort, remember, coming on the same day as a major interstate terror module was busted. and we've been telling you about this in detail. 2,900 kgs of explosives were seized as a part of that joint operation between the Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana police. That a terror module linked with terror groups Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar Ghazwat-ul-Hind. In fact, at least 8 suspects, including 3 doctors, were arrested as a part of that bust. Let's go straight across now to Idris Lone, who's been tracking those developments in Jammu and Kashmir. Idris, over to you. What can you tell us about the word coming in from the Jammu and Kashmir police at this point, which of course is in constant touch with the authorities in Delhi?
Well, Molly, we've spoken to the top official in Jammu and Kashmir who has confirmed to us that they're in constant touch with the investigative agencies in Delhi right after the Red Fort blast. Jammu and Kashmir police has said that so far there's no immediate J&K connection to it, but the investigation is rolling. Let me tell you, this comes right after the major counter-terrorism operation by Jammu and Kashmir police, along with the Haryana police and UP police, in which 7 people who were linked with proscribed terrorist organization Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar Ghazwat-ul-Hind. 3 of them are doctors, 2 of them Kashmiri doctors. Basically, one doctor who was identified as Dr. Adil Rathar, he was the one who led to this whole network. Around last week,
दिल्ली में लाल किले के पास सुभाष मार्ग ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पर I-20 हुंडई गाड़ी में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है। ब्लास्ट के कारण आसपास की कुछ गाड़ियां और कुछ मार्ग पर जा रहे लोग भी इंजर्ड होने के समाचार हैं। प्राथमिक सूचना जो मिली है उसमें कुछ लोग हताहत भी हुए हैं। ब्लास्ट की सूचना आते ही 10 मिनट में दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच, दिल्ली स्पेशल ब्रांच की टीमें स्पॉट पर पहुंची है। NSG और NIA की टीम FSL के साथ अभी गहन जांच करने का शुरू किया है। आसपास के स्थान के सभी CCTV कैमरा और बाकी सब चीज़ों की जांच के आदेश दे दिए हैं। मेरी CP दिल्ली से भी बात हुई है, स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज से भी बात हुई है। CP दिल्ली और स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज स्पॉट पर मौजूद हैं। हम सभी संभावनाओं को तराश रहे हैं और सभी संभावनाओं को ध्यान में रखकर इसकी गहन जांच की जाएगी। सभी ऑप्शन की तुरंत जांच होकर नतीजा जो आएगा, जांच हम जनता के सामने रखेंगे। मैं कुछ ही देर में स्पॉट पर भी जा रहा हूं और अस्पताल में भी मैं तुरंत जाऊंगा।
All right, so that's the statement coming in from the Home Minister of India, Amit Shah, talking about the explosions and All right, we just played out for you what the Home Minister of India had to say, and that he's also going to be heading to the location of the site and to the hospital. In more inputs that are trickling in the aftermath of those explosions in Delhi, a high alert sounded in Mumbai, and the Mumbai police patrolling sensitive areas in the city as per the latest coming in. The state of Uttar Pradesh also put on high alert. That's the latest coming in. Delhi already on high alert. We've been telling you the Prime Minister has taken stock of the situation. We just heard from the Home Minister, who's also spoken about being in touch with the Delhi Police Commissioner. Mumbai Police now patrolling sensitive areas. Mumbai, Uttar Pradesh also on high alert. That investigation is underway as far as all angles are concerned, according to the Home Minister. Remember, the exact nature and cause of the explosion will be determined as the investigations continue. In the latest, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured as a result of those explosions that rocked the Indian capital. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent Disha Shah, who's been tracking those developments in Mumbai for us. Over to you, Disha. What are you picking up at this point?
Well, absolutely. Soon after the Delhi explosion on Monday evening, the Mumbai police here said that a precautionary alert has been sounded out across the city, even as they are waiting for a clear picture to emerge. In fact, the Mumbai police and the senior officials that we spoke to said that all police stations in Mumbai have been alerted and they have been instructed to remain vigilant. The force has been directed to increase patrolling in crowded and sensitive zones, specifically the railway stations, the markets, religious places, as well as the tourist spots here in the city. And we are also looking at how the security has been beefed up. In a way, the festive season was also around the corner, specifically the New Year and the Christmas. So the daily checks were going on. But today we are looking at a group of more police officers doing the patrolling, specifically at the sensitive areas of the city, even the railway stations as well. Now, every police station also in Mumbai has an anti-terror cell that will be activated to keep an eye out on suspicious elements in their jurisdiction.
Right, Disha Shah getting us those inputs from Mumbai. Mumbai also has been put on high alert following those explosions in Delhi. High alert sounded in Mumbai, and the police there patrolling the sensitive areas in the city. As per the latest, the state of Uttar Pradesh also, as we told you earlier, has been put on alert. Let's also get our viewers up to speed with the latest coming in from the national capital. We just heard from the Home Minister and we are aware that as of now, as the investigation continues and as the emergency responders are at the site, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured as a result of those explosions near the iconic Red Fort in Delhi. In fact, we are talking about the investigation, specifically the Home Minister talking about how the investigation will look at all angles. So the exact nature and cause of the explosions is yet to be determined, of course, as the investigations continue. Let's just play out for you what the Indian Home Minister shared just a short while back.
आज शाम करीब 7 बजे दिल्ली में लाल किले के पास सुभाष मार्ग ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पर I-20 हुंडई गाड़ी में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है। ब्लास्ट के कारण आसपास की कुछ गाड़ियां और कुछ मार्ग पर जा रहे लोग भी इंजर्ड होने के समाचार हैं। प्राथमिक सूचना जो मिली है उसमें कुछ लोग हताहत भी हुए हैं। ब्लास्ट की सूचना आते ही 10 मिनट में दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच, दिल्ली स्पेशल ब्रांच की टीमें स्पॉट पर पहुंची है। NSG और NIA की टीम FSL के साथ अभी गहन जांच करने का शुरू किया है। आसपास के स्थान के सभी CCTV कैमरा और बाकी सब चीज़ों की जांच के आदेश दे दिए गए हैं। मेरी CP दिल्ली से भी बात हुई है, स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज से भी बात हुई है। CP दिल्ली और स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज स्पॉट पर मौजूद हैं। हम
All right, so that's the Indian Home Minister Amit Shah, who will also be heading to the location and also to the hospital where the injured have been taken. In the latest, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured. And as we continue to monitor those updates, let's also go straight across to our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur, who's been tracking those developments from on the ground right near the Red Fort. Over to you, Dharamjot. What are you picking up at this point? What have the people been saying? And what is the situation looking like right now as the teams, of course, there have rushed to the spot and the investigations will be continuing?
First, The Market Association president for the Chandni Chowk market has said that the market area will remain closed tomorrow, that is Tuesday. This is in the aftermath of the explosion near now, the Chandni Chowk market, just to give a bit of context to our viewers, is very, very close from here. It's just a few meters away. It's a market that is jam-packed, Molly, as we're aware, and just to also and from India, there are very small lanes which are chock-a-block with shops, with hundreds and thousands of people going to that market, especially in this season, Molly. It's post-festival wedding. North India, there are a lot of people who shop at these markets, especially in the evening. This is post-office hours on a weekday. A lot of people are out, and given the incident, the tragedy that has occurred, the Market Association president has announced that the market will remain shut for tomorrow. Investigation is still underway. It's all hands on deck. And security officials are still trying to ascertain the cause of this explosion before they put any more information public. But given that the officials want to ensure that the entire area remains cordoned off, that there is no sort of hitch or any challenge in the investigation, they want to ensure that minimum people are out on the street in packed areas. We know that the metro station was completely cordoned off. All the people were asked to evacuate from there. This entire area has been evacuated. There are just a few random local residents who try to ensure that all locals, all bystanders are asked to leave the area as investigation continues. It's still a sensitive situation. We're also hearing about how more and more cities, more and more states are on preemptive high alert just to be on the safer side. News has just come in that Bihar has been put on high alert. As we know, the state of Bihar is undergoing elections, assembly elections at this point. Phase 2 of elections are being held tomorrow. And for the state that is coal-bound, a very high-stake election happening over there. And after what has happened here at the national capital, even though the nature of the explosion has not been ascertained and confirmed yet, it is a grim situation when officials that tragically several people, 13 of them is what we're being told, have lost their lives. More than 20 are still injured. The death count is expected to increase. So we don't know what the final number will be yet, but the toll is right. It's very at this point.
Right. We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for those inputs and updates coming in from on the ground in the aftermath of those explosions that rocked Delhi. These are the images that we are getting to you from on the ground as well. And as we continue to piece together what the authorities are sharing at this point, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured as a result of those explosions that rocked Delhi at a peak hour in that busy, congested area near the Red Fort. And as we continue to get you the updated, verified, official information coming in, the Home Minister also heading to the site of the explosions and the hospital. The teams at the spot, the investigations, of course, will continue, and the exact nature and cause will be determined. And of course, we will be keeping a close eye on the latest coming in from Delhi. Shifting focus for now. Is the next war in West Asia just a matter of time? Is an Iran versus Israel war imminent? We are asking those questions because those closely following the developments in the region believe that Iran is not only updating and extending its missile range, it's also working on a new uranium enrichment site. In fact, developments that could make US and its allies nervous. Let's just start off with the missiles specifically. According to New York Times report, after first lifting limits on its missile range, Iran has quietly entered a new phase of missile production. And according to experts, missile factories across the country are now running around the clock 24 hours a day, they say. What's their goal? To produce enough firepower to overwhelm the Israeli air defenses in the event of another war. Remember, in June, Iran fired roughly 500 missiles over 12 days. If conflict erupts again, Tehran basically plans to launch 2,000 at once. Iran's missile capability has expanded dramatically under a secret upgrade program that has continued even during sanctions and restrictions. For example, the Emad missile now covers 1,700 kilometers and comes fitted with a maneuverable warhead capable of changing course mid-air. The Qadr series, modified from the Shahab 3, has been reportedly upgraded to a 2,000-kilometer range with improved guidance systems. These were used in Iran's war with Israel earlier. The Sejil missiles, powered by solid fuel, now span between 2,000 and 4,000 kilometers, with the next generation still being tested. The Ashura missile can strike targets 2,500 kilometers away, reaching parts of Eastern Europe. The Khorramshahr or Khyber has evolved into a 4,000-kilometer range system, doubling its initial capacity. And Iran's Shahab series, still under testing, could soon achieve an unprecedented 10,000-kilometer reach. Together, this advancement marking a massive leap for Iran's strike capability that now goes far beyond the region. And that's the scale of preparation reportedly underway right now. We are talking about long-range, precision-guided weapons capable of not only reaching Israel, but also other US bases in the region and beyond. And this is why regional observers believe a new confrontation is not just possible, it could be inevitable. And Iran is not acting alone. Its network of allies and proxies, from Hezbollah in Lebanon to the Houthis in Yemen, are all believed to be integrated into this new missile ecosystem. So in any future conflict, Israel will not just face Iran, it could face a coordinated multi-front assault stretching across the region. Now, let's talk about the 2015 nuclear deal. The JCPOA, remember, expired last month. Sanctions are back and negotiations are frozen. At the point, Iran's nuclear program is operating without any international oversight. Inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency, in fact, have been denied access reportedly to suspected sites. And now reports talking about a new site, codenamed Pickaxe Mountain, where Iran is reportedly enriching uranium. Iran has refused to open it to inspection reportedly, and that has fueled fears that uranium enrichment is continuing underground. Estimates from the IAEA suggesting Iran still holds over 400 kilograms of uranium, enriched up to 60%. That's very close to weapons grade. That's enough fissile material to make multiple nuclear warheads. That is, if Tehran decided to take that step. But then what makes this moment especially tense is that no one knows where Iran's enriched uranium stockpile really is. Iran reportedly claims much of it was destroyed in the US airstrikes this summer, strikes that President Trump insists obliterated the program. But Israeli intelligence believes the opposite in a way, that the material was hidden, moved or dispersed across secret sites. With no inspectors and no verification reportedly, there is no certainty, only speculation, also questions. Meanwhile, diplomacy is at a dead end as well in a way. Iran says Washington has offered unacceptable and impossible conditions for talks, including a total stop to uranium enrichment and direct negotiations. Iran's answer, meanwhile, has been firm. No direct talks, no capitulation. Instead, Iran has laid down its own conditions. No more sanctions, no further military attacks, and compensation for war damages. In fact, the US is unwilling to accept any of that. So the result basically is a stalemate. And that's why experts are nervous. Because when diplomacy dies or suffers a roadblock, deterrence takes its place. Already, Israeli officials have warned that they will not hesitate to strike again if Iran moves any closer to producing a nuclear weapon. They believe Iran's nuclear infrastructure has been degraded but not destroyed. And in their view, leaving the job unfinished is too great a risk. And then the Arab states, around them, they are watching the developments closely as well, of course. And as per reports, repositioning themselves. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE reportedly are all strengthening their relationship with Washington, even as they quietly keep the channels open with Tehran. And they do not want another war, but they know Iran's influence. So here's where things stand. Basically, Iran is extending its missile range. It is rebuilding its nuclear program. Israel is not sitting silent. Both sides arming, both are signaling readiness, and both believe they are acting in self-defense. The question really is, it's not if the next Israel-Iran war will happen, it is the question of when, perhaps. All right, going back across now to the latest coming in from Delhi, which witnessed multiple explosions earlier in the evening. In the latest, the Home Minister of India, Amit Shah, has reached the spot. Remember, we played out for you that statement that he issued just a short while back, talking about the investigation and what unfolded so far. He also spoke about heading to the location and to the hospital. There we have those images of the Home Minister taking stock of the situation. The Indian Prime Minister also earlier issued that statement. The teams at the spot, remember, have been conducting their investigation. 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured as a result of those explosions that occurred near the Red Fort in Delhi. Those images coming in. Home Minister Amit Shah had earlier spoken about how the investigations will continue as far as all angles are concerned. And as we continue to play out those visuals for you, let's just remind our viewers who might just be tuning in. This is unfolding in the aftermath of the explosions that occurred near the iconic Red Fort in Delhi, close to 7 p.m. peak hour, congested area, which witnessed multiple explosions. And as the investigations continue and the exact nature and cause of the explosions will be determined, piecing together for you what the official inputs and details trickling in have looked like. Delhi on high alert. Remember, we told you the Chief Minister earlier also asked the police officials to increase the patrolling. Mumbai on high alert, and also Uttar Pradesh. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent, Dharamjot Kaur, who is near the Red Fort monitoring those developments. Over to you, Dharamjot. What are you gathering at this point?
Well, Molly, from what we've heard, Home Minister Amit Shah has reached the LNJP hospital where officials had brought bodies of the casualties, of which tragically 13 have died and more than 20 are still injured. The Home Minister is there to take stock of the situation, speak to the doctors and the medical staff to ascertain and find out more details about what exactly happened, the number of casualties that were brought in and how serious the entire situation is. After that, it is expected that the Home Minister will be arriving at the explosion site here near Red Fort, where he will be speaking to security officials to take stock of the situation and see how the entire investigation is progressing, ensure that it's all hands on deck, that all agencies from within Delhi, from across state lines, everybody is here to get to the bottom of the situation and ascertain the nature of it, the scale of it, and get to the bottom of this entire tragedy. So far, that's the update that we have. Here at the Red Fort, situation remains the same as it was a few minutes ago. A lot of police presence, A lot of investigative agency officials still present over here. Ambulances remain lined up. Fire brigades remain lined up just in case. It's more of a precautionary measure now at this point. The situation, what has already unfolded, nothing more has happened beyond that, but investigation is underway to determine the nature and the cause of the explosion that took place a few hours ago, Mali.
Indeed, as we put together the latest information coming in, remember we've also been getting in a word from the statements that have been coming in from different quarters talking about the impact of the explosion and what unfolded in the minutes right after those explosions occurred close to 7 p.m. IST. So that's a very busy time at a place like that. Those images that we are getting to you of the Home Minister of India taking stock of the situation, being briefed. He is at the LNJP hospital in the national capital, where, remember, the injured have been taken. As per the latest numbers, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 have been injured. The teams that are at the spot, of course, have been conducting the operations, and the investigations will determine what exactly unfolded, the exact nature and cause of those explosions that struck near the iconic Red Fort. We also have been telling you about the different places that have been put on high alert, including Mumbai and Uttar Pradesh. So that's also one part of the developments that are fast trickling in as far as the pan-India developments are concerned. We also got in that word earlier from the Jammu and Kashmir police, which is in constant touch with the officials in Delhi as well. As far as what the eyewitnesses on the ground have been sharing, remember there was also that bit about how parts of a vehicle were found about over 150 meters away. Street lights were impacted as well. Those are also the inputs that have been shared from the people who were at the spot, who were on the ground, and telling and narrating what they saw unfold. The explosion was reportedly heard about over 1.5 kilometers away, and it caused several vehicles nearby to catch fire as well. So that, in a sense, also is a suggestion of the kind of impact that explosion had. At the same time, we are awaiting further details from the authorities, the official information that will trickle in on what exactly has been found and what the investigations will reveal in time to come. According to the Home Minister, he also spoke about how the investigation will be looking at all possible angles, various teams at the spot, like we've been telling you, the emergency services that were pressed in earlier, shortly after the explosions that occurred near the Red Fort, an extremely busy, congested area. The Red Fort metro station that we've been telling you about as well, gate 1 of the metro station. So soon after, this is what things are looking like just over 2 hours after those explosions occurred, close to about to be 3 hours now since Delhi witnessed those multiple explosions. And we are awaiting what the authorities will be discovering as a part of the investigations as they unfold. A very sensitive, crucial time, of course, at this point. And as those efforts continue on the ground, we've been playing out for you those visuals. One can only imagine the commotion and what's happening on the ground in the aftermath of the explosions. 13 people have lost their lives, 24 injured. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent who's been tracking those developments for us near the Red Fort and telling us what the things are looking like right this point over there. Dharamjot Kaur with us. Dharamjot, we have been getting our viewers the latest images that are coming in, also of the Home Minister who's been briefed by the officials there. Tell us more about what you're gathering and what you're seeing around you right now.
Well, Molly, it is the situation is still tense in terms of the scale and the number of agencies that are present here on ground. We're also seeing some visuals come in from the Red Fort metro station, especially gate number 1, where you can see a lot of shattered glass lying around the entrance and the exit of the metro station. as an impact of the explosion that took place near it. Currently here at the Red Fort, there is a lot of buzz with a lot of police personnel present. The barricades remain intact. The entire area has been cordoned off for a few kilometers. It's important to note how intense the footfall and civilian presence is in this area, Molly, which kind of gives more weightage to the entire tragedy that has unfolded. As we already know, tragically, 13 people have lost their lives in the explosion. Many more, at least 20 more, are injured. And so there is fear that the death toll will rise in the coming hours. But coming back to the location and then the intensity of footfall of civilians here, as we've been talking for the past couple of hours, the incident took place at peak evening rush hour. It's when people are returning home from work. It's Monday evening here in India, New Delhi. People are coming back home from work. People are out on the streets, going to markets, going to other places, using the metro station to travel locally. There is a Gurdwara, several religious places nearby, a temple, a Gurdwara, a mosque, many other religious places where worshippers are seen in the evening flocking these religious places. There are so many markets and bazaars just a few meters away, where here in the peak of the wedding season in North India, you see thousands of people stepping out, preparing for weddings, going to the markets to shop for them. This area, especially the Chandni Chowk market, is very well known for wedding shopping. For anyone who's living in Delhi can understand it. So this is more in context to anyone who's outside of Delhi and outside of India. So clearly it happened at a time where there's a lot of footfall in the area, Molly. However, it is yet to be ascertained what the nature and reason of this explosion was, whether it was a tragic malfunction, whether it was something more. We are not aware of that yet. Officials are still investigating. The only information they've given out so far is the exact timing and location of the explosion. It happened at 6:52 p.m. and it happened while a vehicle was slowly approaching a traffic light. That's when the explosion happened. And as a result of that, it appears that other vehicles near it have been gutted in the blaze and also exploded because of that. So a very intense sound was heard of the explosion by a lot of residents nearby, which is why the entire area remains cordoned off even now as officials remain present here on site, Molly. So the situation is grim and investigation is underway. But so far, everything else is under control as the probe goes on. Molly?
Right. Thanks very much for those inputs and details coming in from on the ground. We have been apprising our viewers of the latest coming in from across the country, in fact, as places like Mumbai and Uttar Pradesh have also been put on high alert. We already told you about the measures being taken in the national capital in the aftermath of those explosions. The Delhi Chief Minister earlier ordered for the officials to report to work and for the patrolling to be increased as well. The sensitive areas in Mumbai also being screened. As a result of those explosions, 13 people have lost their lives, 24 are injured. That's the latest figure that we have. The casualties, remember, were being taken to the NNGP hospital, where the Home Minister also reached just a short while back. And we played out those images of the Minister being briefed by the officials as well. That's a continuous, comprehensive coverage of the latest coming in from Delhi after those explosions that rocked the national capital near the Red Fort. We will be tracking those developments very closely. Stay with us.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One.
Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. To some, it's an extreme ideology. To others, it's the very soul of India. To some, it's rebellion. To others, it's a principle of nation building. Coming soon to challenge perceptions in RSS centenary year, Kesariya at 100.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. As we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency.